What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Delta Ridge Fab Build channel. Hey, I'm pretty excited about this one. Today we're going to kick off our multi-part series on building a really big gate. I've got the bid for building a 24-foot gate it's 2-leaf double swinger. Each leaf's going to weigh somewhere around 500 pounds. It's a real beautiful ornamental estate style gate situation. So we're going to kick the series off today with doing a lot of the prep work, a lot of the cuts, a lot of the cleaning. It's some tedious stuff, but it's super critical to get this stuff right if we want the rest of the project to go smoothly. So stick around. It's going to be multi-parts. We're going to cover cutting. We're going to cover rolling tubing into arches. We're going to cover some of the struggles that I deal with on a daily basis trying to build a project of this size at my stage of owning this business. Kind of getting this thing off the ground, so I don't have a lot of space. I don't have a lot of the high-end kind of tooling quite yet, but I'm going to show you how I get stuff done with what I've got, and hopefully I can give you guys some tips along the way that will help you in your journey of maybe getting your own business started, or maybe you just want to build your own stuff on the side. So yeah, stick around. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yes, we can look at some of the materials that we're going to need for this job. I've got most of it here already. So, got some metal post caps. These are going to be decorative on the front of the gate. A whole mess of them. Got these collars for the balusters. I don't guess they're balusters if they're not on handrails. Maybe they're spindles. Whatever. The uppy downy bits that go in the middle of the gate. These are going on that. We got some killer hinges because these gates are going to be heavy, so we got some really killer hinges. These are sealed bearing D&D hinges. They're good for something like this size is good for like 1,100 pounds per hinge. So should be more than plenty. So laying out the dimensions for the gate, the customer went ahead and set his post, and he sent me the measurements. He said they're 24 foot and a half inch inside to inside. So that's 288 and a half. I want a ½ inch gap between the leaves. And then these hinges are adjustable from 2.4 to 2.9 inches. So I just split the difference and called it 2 3/4. So I'm gonna have the ½ inch in the center, 2 sets of hinges at 2 3/4 in each. So that's 282 and a half, divide that by 2, and that'll give me the dimension, the overall dimension width-wise for each gate, which is 141 1/4, or 11 foot 9 1/4. So the main frame is going to be this apparently Mexican 3x2 3/16 because reasons. And then the top arch is going to be 2x1. I believe that's 1/8. And then all the decorative stuff in the middle of the gate is going to be this. There's some 3/4 14 gauge and some 1x2 14 gauge. I'll put a picture of what the gate is going to look like roughly here. It's going to be sweet. Get some material brought over here, get this all set up, and we'll start making cuts. One of the things I like to go ahead and do is, like, look at all this nasty that's on here, all this oil. One, you can't use a soapstone on this. You can't get a real good measurement on it, and you ruin your gloves, and you get it. It's just nasty. So before I start making cuts, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and get my mineral spirits out, and I'll just give this a quick wipe and get all the nasty off of it. Before we make this first cut, there's one thing I want to show you, is when you're cutting on a 45 to make a miter joint, you want to make sure that on this back side that you're actually getting, get my pen, that you're actually getting into here. You don't want to leave this square edge. Can you see it? Yeah. You don't want to leave that square edge. You want the thickness of this material to be at a 45. Something that comes up once in a while when you're buying steel. It's not always straight, which is frustrating. Let me flip this around, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Look how much curve this thing's got to it. So, I mean, it's just whoop. But it looks, I mean, it's pretty rough. But if you look at it from the other end, the crook is someplace right about in here. And this end's the good end. Looks like it's crooked someplace down in there. So this end is going to be our long run for the bottom of the gate. And we may have to throw the rest of that away. Depends. Yucky. Remember when I said I thought that bow was going to be beyond the main gate runner? Turns out it's not. That's a solid difference there. So I'm going to petition the supplier to see if I can get them to bring me a replacement for this one, because it's so far out. And if not, I'll just have to straighten it when we weld it together. I'll have to do some trickery to probably support it in the center somehow and pull it back this way when I fully weld out the gate frames. Part of it, I guess. At this point, we have our post end pieces cut, our center pieces cut, our bottom runners, our bottom horizontal pieces cut, and our top horizontal pieces cut, which will become arched in probably part 3 of this. The only other prep work that we can do with our cuts is to go ahead and cut out the secondary arches, or cut these roughly to length for the secondary arches. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done, and then all the prep work will be done for this. Thanks for hanging out today. I know it's kind of a boring one, but the the planning and the prep work is so super critical on one of these big gate projects, like any project that you're working on. If you don't nail the planning and the prep, it's just going to fight you the whole way. So we've got our pile of cuts over here. Get it in there. There it is. Got our pile of cuts. Fingers. Yeah. Part two, we're going to start building out the main frame of the gates. Yeah, that'll be a lot more interesting, I think. I'll have some tips for you on how to keep things square and level. Some things I've learned along the way. Obviously, I don't have the space for a $10,000 fixture table, but I can make it happen with what I've got. You just have to be real careful, and yeah, we'll show you that next time. So for now, see ya.